Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm Thomas Jenkins. This is WFUZ-TV, the People's Voice podcast, and I'm here with Blair Castro. Blair, what's going on in your world? Why are we here today?
We're here today for a number of reasons, mostly to remind people what we do and who our alliance is or who our allegiance is to, which is really nobody, ourselves. People are sitting here calling me a Democrat, which isn't true. It's just simply not a fact. I was a Democrat a long time ago. A lot of people were, especially in the South. Half the South was Democratic, and then it kind of shifted Republican. That's not a new revelation for me. I shifted, before COVID. I mean, who would remain a Democrat after COVID? I think it's, a little sparse at that point. But, about 10 years ago or so, I became a Republican. I started working for Republican candidates, and that's just where I've been. To say that I'm currently not because you pulled up some Google search, background check that someone paid for is simply not true. All of my voting records show that. And I don't know how to prove it otherwise except for posting my voter ID card, which I did. But I definitely am a registered Republican. Not only that, I'm a paying member of the party. I'm a paying member of all the Republican women's groups pretty much. Maybe a couple that I'm not, but most of them. And I've worked for my Republican congressman. I've worked for my Republican sheriff. I've worked within the party now for a decade. And that's just simply not true.
Where did all this come from in the first place for those just tuning in?
It came from the last couple of videos we posted, which were taken from debates or forums with the congressional candidates. Specifically, it's coming from Joshua McKee. Now, for those of you who are not aware of the history with Joshua McKee here, let me share a little bit about that with you. So we've interviewed Joshua McKee. We have an hour and a half interview with him if you scroll down and look at our past work. I liked Joshua McKee when he first came. I thought he was very...
Put together?
He was put together. He was charming. He seemed very, I was impressed when I first met him. And then I'm not the only one that feels this way. We got a lot of different people. First of all, I want to say I really like his wife. She is very sweet, and this has nothing to do with her. And I had nothing really to do with him as a person. But things just weren't adding up. The statements weren't matching the actions in a lot of the ways. And I don't care who you are. I don't care how nice you were to me. I don't care how charming you were. I don't care how luscious your locks are. I don't care about who your friends are or how, adorable your spouse is. If your actions and your words don't really align, then I'm going to say something about it. And that's not personal. It's truly not personal. That's the nature of the game. And that's not because I'm working for Austin Sidwell, which I am paid a little small amount to do social media work for Austin. I'm not paid to attack his opponents. That's not what I'm here to do. I do that just out of my own
sheer joy.
That's just fun for me. And that's what we've been doing here for years if you paid attention. So no, we're not being paid by Austin to edit things. Like, of course it's edited. It's from like a 3-hour long forum.
Right, you're goldfish out there. You're not going to watch the whole thing.
No, we scroll to the part that's relevant and clip that part. But within that clipped part, it's not really edited. There's one part we took out, which was a long soliloquy from someone in the audience that would have made it like 10 minutes long. But minus, reducing it for time, it's still his own words and his own statements. So there's nothing there that we're misrepresenting, and he can very easily jump into the thread or give me a call or give us a call. He's well aware of my number. We used to talk all the time. We used to talk for hours a day. That's what's crazy, is that you people don't even know that at one point he and I were quite close before he had nobody really working for him, and that all sort of deteriorated. It is not personal. If you, don't make the decision to hire me and get me on your team, then I'm going to have to go to another place to work. That's how work is. I'm not going to sit around and be unemployed waiting for you.
Also, don't sit there and brag about how much money you have in the bank and say, oh, I'm going to bring you on, and then don't do it. That is a little personal.
Even recently, he texted me saying that he needed me and he was really upset that I wasn't on his team. And I was like, well, that's just the way it is because somebody else pulled the trigger first. Like, don't be trigger shy. Either get me on your team or don't. And he decided that he wanted to just do it all himself or have other outside people. He went through a lot of different consultants too. And I don't know, I feel like he's one of the many people that look at a number from Washington, D.C., and they're like, this is a D.C. consultant who knows a lot. Okay, well, I know a lot too. And just because I don't live in Washington, D.C. doesn't mean I haven't worked with people that work in Washington, D.C. and that I'm not well connected. If you know me and you know anything about my past, which is all out there to find, You can see everybody I've worked for. You can look up my business and my name and who's paid me. Look at all the people who have paid me to do work and then think, would I want that person on my team? The answer is probably going to be yes. I'm quite good at my job.
And it's hilarious to me that people think that we're Democrats. I literally read both of Rush Limbaugh's books and listened to his show when I was in 6th grade, so you can get over that shit.
I didn't read Rush Limbaugh's books.
I did both of them. They sucked, but you know.
But despite that, Democrat or Republican, our show, as you notice from the purple behind us, is about everybody. It tends to lean more Republican because we live in Alabama, and that's just everybody in power is Republican. But we're not closed off enough to not sit down with a Democrat, to not talk about Democrats, to not see where our common denominators are between the two parties.
Right. The color purple is when red and blue manage to come together and make one beautiful color together. And it's unfortunate that we're in a spot in our nation where we can't do that right now, but we're attempting to do that ourselves because there's too many people that are just pissed off and trying to piss off the other side. And I'm tired of it. I am tired of it.
Yeah, being a Democrat is not really a huge insult like you guys think it is. I was like, okay, it's like saying you're gay. Like, it's simply not true. I'm just not a Democrat, but it doesn't mean I'm so offended by that or whatever. And it's funny because the Republican people in your party half the time aren't even really Republican or not even aligned with those values. They're literally rhinos, but you're sitting there defending them to the death and just calling people Democrats like it's a slander, and it's very nonsensical.
So let's take a detour. Let's talk about Chris Elliott for a minute.
So Chris Elliott did these attack mailers about Mike Vann, who you all know because he's been on the show a few times. He's been to our forum. Mike Vann is a very nice person. We're not nice people. Mike Vann is a nice person. And it's very unnecessary to release these mailers calling him a deadbeat dad, calling him a failed businessman. Okay, number one, he sold his business for like $2 million when he bought it for like $500,000. So profiting like $1.5 million does not make you a failed businessman. Those numbers, give or take a little, but that's just simply not true either. And the deadbeat dad thing is ridiculous. Those are just hateful things that are taking misleading information from old divorce cases. And plus that man's like 74 years old. You're really going to sit there and say you didn't pay child support like kids that are grown adults in their 30s. Like, that's insane to me. You're really on about divorce from 30 plus years ago. And
meanwhile, Chris Elliott gets a DUI in office. That makes you a deadbeat politician, sir. A deadbeat politician.
He did get a DUI while in office on the county commission, just like other people got DUIs while running for office. Just like it's very hard pressed to find somebody without a DUI nowadays. And I don't know if you've watched our show too, but I have friends who have lost their children in drunk driving crashes. So whatever they want to say about me and my past criminal history, which, by the way, like I said, never arraigned, mistakenly arrested, apology issued when my mistaken arrest happened. I've never once put an innocent person's life at risk. I've never got behind the wheel while inebriated or, not fully aware of my faculties, and I never would because I've witnessed people lose their children to accidents, and that's an issue I'm very passionate about. So say what you will. Everybody that's had something coming from me, I think, deserved it, and I would do it again.
Just want to reiterate one more time, we're not nice people. And I invite any keyboard warrior to come see us out in public. It's not like we hide behind this camera. We go to things. We attend things. We're active members of the community. And I suggest you do the same before you come at us with any of your bullshit.
Good day.